Picture this, you're on the brink of a game-changing business deal, but where do you start? First things first, you need a space to rent or buy. Either a letter of intent or an LOI for short is the roadmap to negotiation success when it comes to a real estate deal. In this video, we'll break down how to create an effective letter of intent that captures attention, builds trust, and seals the deal. Let's jump in. In this video, you'll learn what a real estate letter of intent is, the 4 types, and how a letter of intent works in 5 steps. We're eForms, your source for business and real estate how-tos. To access your own downloadable letter of intent template, click the link in the description below. First, let's define what a real estate letter of intent is. A real estate letter of intent outlines the terms of a sale or lease contract. Once the letter of intent is signed, it becomes a legally binding contract. There are 4 types of real estate letters of intent, and we have downloadable templates for all of them. A commercial lease, a residential lease, a commercial purchase, and a residential purchase. Is a letter of intent binding? It's up to the signatories to decide whether the letter of intent will be legally binding. After this decision is made, a statement indicating the binding status of the document should be incorporated into the language of the form. It is far more challenging to enforce an agreement without this written declaration. Before we go, let's cover the 5 steps of how a letter of intent works. Step 1, the buyer or the tenant views the property. They'll visit the property, perform a walkthrough to test appliances, plumbing, window quality, and heating, as well as keep an eye out for any visual or structural defects. Step 2, the parties negotiate. If the buyer or tenant chooses to proceed with the transaction after step 1, they should complete a letter of intent and present it to the owner for review. At this point, the owner will either accept or continue to negotiate. Step 3, binding agreement is made. Once the conditions have been successfully negotiated, the contract should be drafted and reviewed by each party. For purchase agreements, the parties should have a lawyer review them before making these types of contracts legally binding. Step 4, inspection period. Purchase agreements typically contain a clause granting the buyer a specified amount of time during which they can have a qualified professional inspect the premises. If the property doesn't meet their standards, the buyer can back out or negotiate new terms. Step 5, the closing. The closing is the predetermined date when the ownership is officially transferred over to a buyer. During closing, both parties sign paperwork and pay fees related to the transaction. And there you have it. You're ready to start the negotiation process with confidence. To access our fillable templates for all 4 versions we went over today, click the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more helpful content.